I explained it. I said, man, if me and my brother won the Pouncey twins and we were just the regular Pouncey twins with tattoos from neck to our feet, man, people would totally treat us totally different. We got to start rewriting the books and putting this all together. That's the only way you can change the stigma of all the races of people.
And today we got my man, Maurkice Pouncey, a.k.a. MP53, a.k.a. best center in the league, a.k.a. 2010s all-decade teamer. Keith, what's going on, man? Happy to have you on.
Thanks, bro. Been a long time, man. Glad to catch up with you.
Yes, sir, man. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. So you came into the league back in 2010. I was still playing back then. And obviously this league has changed ever since with the social media, the salary cap, just the rules changed. What would you say in all of your years, going from year 1 to now about to be year 11, that probably is the biggest change that you've seen in your eyes?
I think the overall biggest change is probably how much the NFL has put into the care of the players. They've seen that over for the years and years and years that players that took a lot of beating and a lot of health issues that came from it, you know what I mean? So I think that as far as them trying to change the game, every single year they got new rules coming in. I think that's probably the biggest change overall that I've probably seen. But I think the biggest change right now is that, man, 2020, that they came out and finally admitted that social justice was a big thing that the NFL players have been crying for. So hopefully that we'll see a big turnaround this year.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, man, because it seems like with this pandemic, it caused a lot of people, obviously, to stay at home. They can't go to work, so they got to be quarantined. And I guess because of that, so many people are now able to pay attention. They're not able to go ahead and look away, pretend like they don't see it, or like, you know, that ain't them, that don't involve them. So it's definitely forcing a lot of people to have to look within themselves and realize, you know what, things aren't right and certain things got to change. And I definitely love how the NFL is stepping up with what Roger Goodell said. Still got to put action to his words, but I definitely like what he said about a week or so ago about actually we made a mistake not listening to you guys.
Yeah, he took a lot of backlash from whenever he came out with it. But honestly, that's what leaders do. They step up in hard situations, and he admitted his wrongdoing as far as a league within all the owners of the team. You know what I mean? He was the one that stood out there and said, man, we messed up. You know what I mean? And I know everybody else wants other people to come out and make statements and as far as the ownership, but I mean, that was a broad statement to say, man, we're listening. That all of us knew that we messed up. You know what I mean? So, you know, all my hats off to him for doing that type of thing. But you know how I feel about that type of things, man. Things in this world got to change immediately. And for them to finally realize, man, that they're not trying to correlate the two or let anyone else try to, on the outside, try to correlate any of the flag and the military and things like that. And we're trying to really show the right push of social injustice and police brutality, man. So hopefully things can really make a big turn now. We'll see.
I got it. Across the league, what are some of the conversations you've had with players, whether it be on your team or just guys you know across the league? What are some of the conversations you've had about this very topic with the social injustice, the racial inequality, things of that nature?
Well, we had a team meeting. You know, we've been doing the Zoom calls as part of like the all-season program, and I think the Steelers did a great job as far as you know, Mr. Rooney, Kevin Colbert, and Coach Tomlin, and all the main people in the organization getting on there speaking about this and saying how much this going to mean to them and how much they're with us as far as this fight going, as far as the movement going. So that was really, really huge, man. So whenever you see people like that inside the organization, man, and I've been with them guys a long time, man, you see how much they love their people, how much they love their players, the community, and you can really stick by people that really want to make a change like that. So.
Yeah, man, shout out to that Rooney family for actually creating the Rooney rule of actually demanding that anytime a team wants to hire a head coach, people of that nature, it has to be a minority that has to receive an interview in that process. So definitely shout out to them, man.
They're still fighting for things, man. So they're still fighting for that rule to be even bigger. So that, man, big shouts out to them, man. That family there, I can't say enough about them, man. They truly love and understand what people come through.
I get it. Keith, a lot of people don't really understand what it's like to be in the trenches or the O-line position, and you playing the pivot, the center position, which is pretty much the most important of all. Go ahead and talk about the challenges of playing center versus guard or tackle.
So basically with center, man, you're basically the quarterback before the quarterback says hype. You know what I mean? You got to go out there. You tell the front to everyone. You kind of make the mic point to set up all the other guys so they can go out their points and what the quarterback has their hots off and what guys have to go out to as far as the line. So I say as far as that, it's just more communicating wise as far as that. But, you know, the other guys, some of the tackles, they go against a lot of the faster guys, a little bit more of the athletic guys. But the guys are inside, and you got to be really stronger and big because you know, nowadays it ain't just big fat guys up there trying to rush anymore, man. And these guys are Aaron Donald and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit more difficult all around, and I think overall the NFL just got a lot more, you know, speed and athletic to it. So I say as far as that angle is probably going that way too. So.
All right. Speaking of which, toughest opponent you've ever had to play against so far in your first 10 years?
Man, so when I was super young, I was probably say Haloti Nada. He had the whole entire package, man. He was a really big dude. He was super strong. He could play the double teams really, really well. He could pass rush as well, man. And I just think his overall game, he brought it all the time, man. And I probably say as I gotten further in the league and better to see more of the guys, I probably got to give a lot of credit to Sue and McCoy and Aaron Donald and Atkins and guys like that, man. So it's hard to just put point finger on one guy, man, because there's so many great guys that come throughout the NFL. But as far as the guys I played, it's probably pretty much all the top guys that they've been saying, man. J.J. Watt, them type of guys, you know what I mean? So whenever you play elite talent, man, I just hate trying to pick out one person because all of them bring different stuff to the game. You know
I get it. Man, funny story. I remember back in 2010, we played y'all. Y'all smoked us, I think, 31-3, something like that.
Was that the Raiders? Who was it?
Yeah,
The Raiders?
It was 2010 Raiders versus Steelers. I want to say November 2010 that year. Y'all went to the Super Bowl. And I remember I walked into the D-line meeting room, and Seymour was in there just watching film. And I asked him, I said, how they looking? He said, Stan. He said, Steelers got this rookie named by the name of Pouncey. He's like, man, Stan, he a rookie, but this dude pretty good. He's like, he said he athletic. And I'm like, word? I'm like, for real? And he said, Stan, man, I'm telling you, like, he a rookie, obviously, so that means he ain't as experienced as me, but like, the dude can play. He athletic.
I'm telling you right now, that means a lot even hearing that because, man, I have so much respect for that dude. He don't get a lot of credit as far as like being still talked about as far as like how everything should go, man. But that dude there was unbelievable, bro. He was super, super strong. I mean, trying to even double team that dude, trying to move him off the ball is kind of really hard, man. I don't understand how some people can be that strong. And luckily, them type of guys ain't playing no more. You know what I mean?
Dude, we used to.
I think that was the game. Remember, I think that was the game he might have punched Big Ben. Remember,
That was it. That was it.
I'm telling you now. I hate that he did that, but I was like, man, you know what? To miss him out of the last 2 quarters might be all right.
Oh man. Nah, Seymour, he always spoke highly of you, dog.
Yeah, that's a good dude right there, man. He played right way, man. Hall of Famer in my eyes for sure.
Yes, definitely, man. And speaking of which, I see the same gold jacket in your future when you decide to go ahead and hang him up.
Nah, I don't know, man. Honestly, bro, honestly with all that type of stuff, man, I just like winning. All the accolade stuff. I've never been the type of dude to celebrate them type of things. Honestly, I think accolades come with team success a lot. And you got to have a lot of great players around you to even achieve them type of awards, man. So I think just overall, I've just been blessed to be with a lot of great players and play alongside a lot of great players. And I think that also helped me. Yeah, my bad.
Speaking of another blessing, there's a lot of brothers that have come through the league. There's even, I think, a couple of twins, but none that I've seen that are twins playing at a high level, which is a blessing that I know that you've experienced. So talk to me about the blessing of not only having a brother in the league, but one who's also playing at a high level just like you.
I think it's pretty awesome, man. It made it really competitive all the time. And as far as working out, going and things like that, man, you never really had to look for anybody else to push you because he was always there to either make me go harder or make me push him even harder, man. But I think it was just I'm telling you, bro, like people don't like to listen to it sometimes. And I honestly just say, man, it's all about timing. Heck yeah, it's about hard work. And trust me, everyone works hard. If you're a professional athlete in my eyes, you should work hard. If you don't, them things don't come great to you. You know what I mean? So I think that, like I was telling you, man, we were blessed to play on some really great teams. Me and Mike really were. You know what I mean? We played with a lot of great players. If you think about all the players that we played with throughout our career, they probably look at us the same exact way, but I always give credit to everyone else, bro, because it ain't just whenever you playing football, this thing's a team sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe in basketball and baseball, you can change a whole dynamic of a team with just one player. And I think in the NFL, you could do it too, as far as like a quarterback or something, but you got to have an overall team when you're playing a football. You know what I mean? That's why it's America's best sport, because you need everyone, even the kicker, even that minute one little 15 seconds that he's on the field. He has to make that kick to change the game, or he'll change the momentum dramatically. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, as far as that, man, me and Mike just been highly blessed with them type of things. But heck yeah, man, we always work hard. We've been, genetically gifted in some ways that other guys aren't, man. But it's just been a real blessing, man. We're really humble about everything, man. And we're just happy that this runs keep going. And hopefully we'll see if it can keep going another 10 years. Never know.
I like it. both you and Mike coming from Lakeland High, Polk County.
Oh yeah.
What was your motivation growing up for you and for Mike to ascend to the level that you've now both come to?
I think it's just it's most kids' mindset when you grew up in poverty. You always want to find something that can get you out, either it's schooling or if it's a bigger job. And most of us, it was sports. Especially where I grew up at. So I think that was more of a motivational thing. And then our parents, man, they always instilled hard work in us, man. Me and my brother never kind of really got to hang out as much as we should have, as kids should have, because we always worked, man. I tell people all the time, they see how me and Mike live now, but bro, you can't forget the fact that, bro, we worked at Taco Bell, we worked at McDonald's, we worked at Southeastern, we worked in the cafeteria there. Our dad had a lawn service business that we worked our whole entire life with. No matter what, on the weekends, we worked all the time. We never had time also. When people see this stuff now, man, you can't forget, bro, we never take ourselves outside of that. Every single day, and I dress like a normal human being, bro. You'll see me in basketball shorts and a Sales RX t-shirt.
Oh, I know. I know.
You know what I mean? So I always try to humble myself in that factor, and I always try to look at it from other people's view, man, it ain't always the best thing to do to go out and flaunt the good things you have in life, man. Just stay humble about things, man. Just keep going, working hard, and try to change as many lives as you can that you try to have yourself around.
Yeah, I try to tell people all the time, man, that the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no matter what, whether you're digging ditches, whether you're a trash digger, a doctor, lawyer, football player, whatever, you got to work, because otherwise ain't nobody going to give it to you. You got to go ahead and take it. Man, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I see the logo right there on your shirt.
Yeah.
Sales RX, your new company.
Yeah, bro. It's a pre-workout company, bro. Me and my brother started probably a year and a half ago, bro. And we kind of just been really pushing it now. We got an NSF approved. So athletes from, any sport 18 and up can obviously take the product. And honestly, man, it's just something that me and Mike kind of just wing with, bro. You know that me and Mike have been playing a very long time, bro. Honestly, It's kind of like a thing let's just do something, bro. We work out all the time, bro. We got everything else we say the right way. Let's just try this company thing and just see what it does, man. Obviously, it's been doing really well so far. And even if it doesn't blow up to be the biggest thing ever, boy, it's just something cool, man. We play football and we started a pre-workout company. How cool is
that shit? Definitely, man. I feel you on that one, because I think that when you play this game, I remember Chris Carter said it best, you got to lead this game with two things, money and memories. And obviously both of y'all going to lead with the first one, and memories as well. And, I think that establishing wealth throughout different lineages, throughout generations beyond you, I think is the ultimate thing, man. So I definitely looking for more big things to come out of your Sales RX, man, you and Mike.
Appreciate that.
Okay, I got a few more questions for you.
Ain't no problem. Whatever you got.
You going into year 11. Mm-hmm. What would be your advice to this past draft class, 2010, the incoming rookies? What would be your advice, old head, because you're now old head now, that's what they're going to call you. What would be your advice to the young guys?
To save as much as you can. Yeah, you're going to buy some things that you think that you deserved over time, and you work really, really hard for them things. But trust me, over time, them things can come. I tell people all the time, I was a first-round draft pick. I was the 18th overall pick. I never had a car until the season ended, until after the Super Bowl. And then I was like, man, you know what? We made all this extra money. Let me just go buy a car. And I bought one. You know what I mean?
Go have some fun.
Yeah, and I was a first-round draft pick. So if you ask any of my teammates that ever been around me, bro, man, they'll tell you, Pounce don't come in with new clothes on every day. Pounce don't come in with jewelry on to show everyone. Pounce comes in to work. And that's all Pounce does. Man, but they see me every single day when I drive to work. Man, I drive a dealer car. I drive a Tahoe. I don't drive my Range Rover that I have outside. I do that type of thing so I can always humble myself. Now, I'm going to work. I ain't going to do anything else but work. And I want to show them that every single day.
Man, not to call nobody out, but I remember back a couple of my years in Oakland, there's a player, I'm not going to say him out loud, but there's a player who actually would drive his Phantom to the facility every day, 6:30 in the morning, driving his Phantom. So I definitely know what you mean.
Maybe if you're an older player and you say it the really right way, man, I get it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
if you're a younger player and you're doing that, it's just like, man,
Keith, I'm talking about.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Keith, I'm talking about a rookie.
and ain't no older head said something to him.
Oh
That's
no,
just crazy, you know what I mean? Like, if someone had to say something to him, bro, because you know me, so if I'm immediately, if I ain't gonna say nothing serious, so I'm gonna joke with him like, damn, boy, I see you spinning it, you know what I mean?
yeah.
At least put it in the air so he'll know, like, man, am I tripping? Yeah, you tripping, you know? I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I'm gonna give you some awareness with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. No, a couple of old heads tried to tell him, but he was young, real high draft pick, and he just wasn't trying to listen, man. He was trying to go ahead and splurge. I get it. I understand it. I don't agree with it because just like what you said, man, like you got to always have that mindset because the moment that you think you've arrived, the moment you think you can get comfortable, that's when they'll go ahead, draft somebody, trade somebody, sign somebody to go ahead and try to replace it because NFL stands for not for long.
Not for long, for sure. And they know that, bro. And you know the thing is, bro, the whole stigma when you leave a team and you go try to chase a little bit more money, bro, you get bashed.
Yeah.
Like you can go in there right now. If a guy goes out there and get hurt right now, man, most teams are not covered. They're not covering the guys because we had the pandemic thing, so wasn't around. So the guy like Brandon Brooks, for example, man, it might be a chance that the Eagles say, man, we don't have to cover you.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
They didn't pick up the policy where players got hurt outside the facility that they would cover that. You know what I mean? So now it's going to be, man, is Brandon Brooks a great player? Yes, he is. So the team might end up still covering that. But that just sucks for a kid who's probably a 6th-round draft pick that goes out there and get hurt, and then the team's like, we're done with them. You know what I mean? They're not going to cover them. You know what I mean? So I don't know, bro. It just hopefully on some of them things that people can wake up to them type of things and see the difference and how, you know what I mean, that things inside the organization are down upon on players too, man. And hopefully some of them things can change. And when you're an older player in the league, just like you said, it's not for long. But man, these dudes put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of success to the organization. And just to throw them away sometimes, it kind of pisses me off in a way. You know what I mean? That's why I was so big on the NFLPA fight. I don't know if you've seen all the things that Mike was saying on that, because I try to tell people all the time that you're a retired player longer than an active player. So to sit here and act like we shouldn't fight for the guys who put in all this effort and all this success to why the NFL is right now is just unbelievable to me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's why me and Mike lashed out on some of them things.
Oh no, I love hearing it. I love seeing it, man. Because what a lot of people don't realize, fans and players, we realize this at a early age once we enter the league. But a lot of fans, people just don't realize it. The only day of the week that this is not a business is on Sundays. That's the only day of the week.
100%.
Yeah.
That ends Saturday around 4 o'clock, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. And then you play the game, you done Sunday night, or maybe if it's a Monday night game, something like that. But then every other day of the week, man, it's a business.
It's business, bro.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. And when a player goes and leaves a team because he's cut or traded or whatever, and he goes to another team, and let's say it may be in the division, something like that. You go to the Cincinnati Bengals or the Baltimore Ravens. People gonna think you a traitor because you go into the enemy, but yet your team let you go. They fired you. They let you go. And I think a lot of time, man, fans don't realize that player is thinking about what's best for him and his family, not for, you know what, I don't want the fans to get mad at me and call me a traitor. So, yeah, I think that's what a lot of people really need to learn is that the only day of the week that it's not a business is on Sundays, man.
Man, absolutely, man. And hopefully, bro, with all this other changes going on right now, a lot of things in this world can change. Because I mean, the simple fact, bro, that our culture, bro, when we walk, I was explaining it to our to coach them on the phone. They always wait to hear my opinion on some of the things. So I was kind of like letting all the other guys speak before I speak because sometimes the other people want to say anything about stupid things like that. But I was trying to tell them that, man, at the end of the day, the thing that we have to change in this thing is a stigma on how the cops are looked at certain cultures and how we are looked at from the cops whenever that we walk past someone. I say, man, if me and my brother won the Pouncey twins and we were just the regular Pouncey twins with tattoos from neck to our feet, man, people would totally treat us totally different. Even down here in Miami. And Miami's a multi-diverse culture, you know what I mean? For us not to be, and you know how it is, bro, when certain people, you've been down here, you've been down to Miami a long time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know how whenever people like us walk around, how we're looked at and how we're viewed, unless someone find out, he plays football, then their whole entire stigma changed on that, bro. And and some of my teammates were like, man, now whenever we make our standard, whatever we got to do, we got to just do it by ourselves. And I'm like, bro, that's not how you unite people. Because as far as police brutality, everyone that is police officer is not a bad police officer. They're not. But inside that organization, there are some bad people inside of every organization, bro. And
Yeah.
that's just the truth about everything. And I don't know why people try to overlook that. Because a lot of them people, like, man, for example, if someone breaks into my crib, I don't know who else to call. But I want to call a police officer that's going to do the right shit. I don't want someone to come over here and just bullshit me around, you know what I mean? So I think as far as that goes, we got to change laws of how hard it is to become a police officer. Because right now, you just got to have a high school diploma in like 3 weeks or something like that to become a police officer. In other states, man, it takes 2 to 3 years to become, in other countries, it takes 2 to 3 years to become a police officer.
Yes.
So, like, man, we gotta raise the bar on that. And when I say them type of things, when we raise that bar, we have to raise the bar as far as how we pay police officers too. Because, man, just look around. Whenever people become police officers, and I hate to say this because it's true, the most popular kid or the kids that have the most things going, they don't become police officers. And I know it sucks to say because maybe it's a pay raise thing. As far as how people get paid, you know what I mean? So I think as far as like doing them type of things and trying to push them type of laws, because that's the way to change anything. As soon as a police officer shoots his gun, it's mandatory for him to go take a drug test right after he shoots. Because them laws are not in place right now, but they go pull us over for if someone's smoking in the car or someone's has been drinking and driving. But are they abiding by the same laws? Sometimes whenever they're shooting their gun, you know what I mean? Like, man, if we go out there and play a football game, the moment we walk in the locker room, someone has to take steroid tests. So so you mean to tell me that the police officer should be sitting at the same standard when we treat them as right underneath the president or governor level? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, we got to start changing them type of laws and making it a lot harder to be a police officer.
Yeah, I agree completely, man. And that's why I think us as players, me as a former player, I think that, we got to do our part of actually trying to speak that word out there as much as we can, especially right now with this pandemic. You still have so many people that are at home quarantining or then, working from home. So right now, people have more of an attention span, more so than ever, because they don't have as many outlets to go ahead and try to distract themselves. So I think that us as players, I think that it's monumental right now while we have a lot of the American population's ear to go ahead and educate them on these very facts and a lot of the issues that go on within our community. So just like what you said, 100%. Man, kudos to you.
And I hope players, bro, it ain't just like a money thing, because when they came out and said the NFL is just we're gonna donate $250 million. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, hell yeah, does money mean a lot? Heck yeah, absolutely does. But bro, the money just doesn't change, because that's I always feel like, man, that's a crutch to be like, man, I'm doing good in society. I mean, I'm just giving I'm giving money away. You know what I mean? Like, man, heck yeah, is it changing people, bro? To change people, bro, you got to be around people, bro. I was trying to tell, Coach Tomlin was like, man, Powell, well, how do you do that? I say, Coach, just really think about it. I say, ever since I was a kid, bro, whenever you play a sport, you play every different culture. You do, bro. You play Chinese, Spanish, black, white, purple. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. I said, Coach, just really think about this. For normal people, bro, we stay in a 20-mile radius of where we live at. That's how people grow up, in a 20-mile radius of where they got to go to the Target, to a grocery store, or schooling, or whatever they got to do. You know what I mean? I say for most people that are white, they never been around black people. They don't know the culture. They don't know what they're like. I say, and it's crazy because you can go ask some of our black teammates. I say, go ask them. I say, man, go ask them if they could just walk up and talk to a white girl. Man, most of them say, man, I don't know what to say to them. I say, well, how the hell can you talk to your white teammate, but you can't talk to a white girl? You know what I mean? They're like, I don't know, it's just different. Like they carry this up there, or we're just different. But like, bro, like when you look at it like that, like you're a part of the problem too. You know what I mean? Like, cause you're looking at a culture like, oh man, dang that. Well, I don't think I can adjust to that. Like, bro, people should just be people, bro. We shouldn't see any of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? And skin color is beautiful. I wouldn't give a damn if someone's purple, bro. Like, if they're purple, that's beautiful. That's the most beautiful purple in the world. Like, it shouldn't matter, that type of things. And that's the type of stuff we got to start changing. I tell people all the time, you're like, what's another way? I'm like, Coach, you got to really think about it. Like, man, we got to change the books and how stuff written. Because even if people are not racist, bro, they feel like they're superior in a way because of how we're taught as kids. Yep. Christopher Columbus, a white man, was the only one to come over here and do this to discover this land. The first man to the moon was a white man, but there was black people on that astronaut ship too. And I'm not saying take away white people out of history. I'm not. But, bro, when you rewrite history, you got to write it together. Because we did all this stuff together, bro. When we built America, it was together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I personally think, man, that we got to start getting more of our people, African Americans, in positions of power. So when I think of, and I hope it happens, but I'm not too confident, the impact it would be if we had a black owner in the NFL. Because when those meetings, the meeting of the governors actually happens behind those closed doors, that's going to be a different voice that's in that room. And I think that when you look at it, that's where change really can happen. Because just like what you said, certain people not knowing how to talk to people of the Caucasian persuasion. Well, guess what? If you got a black man in there, he's going to be able to speak to certain issues that white people may not understand within us, where they automatically look at us like a criminal. Oh, well, you know,
100%.
yeah,
That's the stigma that we got to get over. 1,000% is that black people are criminal. Like, man, what the hell you mean? Like, how? Just because of the color of our skin? Like, I don't understand. Like, why are you so feared of someone's color of their skin? Now, I can see if someone's charging you or saying something crazy to you, like, at that point, yeah, but bro, we got to change that stigma, bro. Like, because to be honest with you, bro, and you know, bro, I'm half white and I'm half black, so I see stuff differently than a lot of people, bro. Because when I grew up in poverty, bro, I grew up in the trailer park and I grew up in the hood, so no one can tell me anything about how poverty is, bro. I know exactly how it is. You know what I mean? So when I say them type of things, bro, is that see, I got so many things I want to put to you, but bro, when I say it like that, bro, I saying, bro, that man, people should always love each other no matter what. Because when I'm telling you, bro, whenever I grew up, bro, whenever I was in the trailer park, brother, it's the same thing, bro. It's just people are different. People are different color of skin. People do the same exact things, bro, when people are in poverty, bro. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
It's just that they live on different sides of town, bro. So what I'm saying with that type of stuff, bro, the only way, and I truly feel that way, bro, is that we got to start rewriting the books and putting this all together. That's the only way you can change the stigma of all the races of people. Because, man, someone is 85 years old right now, bro. You really think you're going to change them? I really don't see it happening. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the only way we can really, really change stuff, and we're not, bro, whenever the change happens, bro, they say it predicts to be, it takes anywhere from 5 to 15 years for a change to happen, like a true change. You know what I mean? So for anyone to think that, man, we're going to see that right away immediately is wrong, bro. Like, this is going to take a very long time to do. But, bro, one thing that we cannot do is start going back to sports and maybe like, man, you know what, we're just playing sports again. We're going to forget about all this stuff. And I told my teammates, I say, bro, if we're going to start making movements, whenever the season comes, don't you guys back out when we got to go on a Wednesday or a Tuesday and we have to go to sit in a courtroom or sit around police officers and have conversations with them. You know what I mean? Because we did this thing last time, bro, when the whole social injustice thing came up. Whenever it came time to do the whole, like, meeting with the officers, heck yeah, guys met with us, like 6 of us did. But whenever it came to time to, like, pay and do all the other things, bro, I was the only one there.
I see what you
mean.
like,
man, like, and I don't never say anything because, bro, I'm gonna do it regardless, bro. Because in my heart, bro, I just feel like, bro, we make so much money, bro. If you're not giving back something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? Like, something's just not right with you in your head. If you think you can make all this money and not give back and help anyone out, you know what I mean? So, but I stood up and did that. So I told the teammates this time, like, bro, if we're gonna do this, bro, we're gonna stand. We're gonna any type of movement that we gotta do, we gotta unite together. It can't just be, man, half the guys want to do this and 4 of the guys do this. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be like that, bro.
Yeah.
Anything that we go out here and do, we gotta show that we do it together.
Gotta be unified.
Because you know how the and not every single media person. I will say this, but bro, most media, they try to divide people, bro. They try to find one little story thing. And they try to push that and they try to divide a team, bro. I've seen it over the years of playing football, you know what I mean? So no one can tell me differently about that. Do guys mess up sometimes and expose themselves? Heck yeah, they do. You know what I mean? Guys ain't used to talking to the media all the time and knowing what to say and how to, like, really correlate themselves and saying the right things or how their true feeling feel inside, you know what I mean? They don't really know how to do that sometimes, you know what I mean? And I think that's another thing that the NFL got to do a better job of, exposing people to the media too early. Like, man, some guys come from college and never talk to the media. So you mean to tell me you can come from college, don't talk to the media, and then you get to the NFL, get money, and now you're just like a media guru? Like,
you're right, you know,
on that,
man.
Like, sometimes, like, man, the NFL just throw you to the wolves. You know what I mean? They don't have programs set up for kids, bro. Like, man, bro, we're coming from poverty. We go to a school that pampered us, most of us, you know what I mean, to university that pamper you. Then you come and get money, bro. Like, that doesn't make you grow up. That makes you do more silly stuff. You know what I mean? So you got to have guidance all the way around. I don't care what anyone says, but they say that men stop growing at when they're 25 years old. Most of us go to the NFL at 20. So how the hell you mean to tell us that we're grown? You know what I mean? So I don't know, bro. So all that stuff kind of got to change, bro. I feel like, bro, we got to do a better overall job as far as the NFLPA, as far as maybe paying for programs to put in programs that the guys are at college and we pay for that level. You know what I mean? Because, like, how are we going to be drafting all these guys and spending all this money on them, but we don't send any money to the university to set guys up for this type of stuff?
I get what you're saying, man. Trust me. It definitely has a lot of layers to these issues that we go through as athletes and as black men in the community. So trust me, I definitely know what you mean. It's going to take time, but I think that hopefully we're off to the right start right now. So
the NFL should have put Diddy in there, bro. You ain't lying about that, bro. Diddy should have been one of our first black owners. They know they messed up with that, bro.
Yeah. And
that's a big part of the culture, you know what I mean?
And that's why I say, man, like, we should have a black owner, Will we have one? I think that's a topic for a whole nother day on when that'll ever happen. Man, Keith, we could talk about this all day. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and give you 2 more questions, and I'm gonna get you out of here.
No problem. No problem.
What is this season gonna look like without fans in the seats in the stadium?
As of right now, if they was to do that, I think no matter what, I tell guys, and the guys will talk about that on the Zoom meetings as well. Bro, we're competitors, and I get whenever you go to practice, they're like, we don't have fans at practice, and it's like different. You know what I mean? I say, bro, listen, I understand that, but bro, true competitors, no matter what, bro, if they got that, I know that you like hearing the fans out there in the sites. You heck yeah, it does, but bro, true competitors adjust.
Yeah,
great players, they adjust to anything that's coming for them. You know what I mean? We've done this before in 2011, right after the lockout. We showed right at the training camp, and that was one of our best years as far as rating-wise as football. Mm-hmm. Yeah, were more guys injured? Absolutely.
I remember that.
We got to figure out a process of how probably maybe starting guys off or coming back until like how we get football for them. You know what I mean? Because people don't understand, like when you have OTAs, you have all that scheduled timing, stuff like that, man, your body starts adjusting to like things. Your body starts getting used to football. For guys now, man, you're not on a 2-hour to 3-hour schedule where you're out there working out and you have a time thing set up. Like, man, guys are kind of like doing their own little thing in different spurts at the time. And you got your kids and you got everything, your family stuff going on. So you can find different ways to relax your body away from football. You know what I mean? So just to throw a guy back out there 100%, I was telling the coach, like, you got to assume that no one's healthy. I mean, no one's in shape at this point. Everyone's out of shape. So that's how you got to kind of like start off as far as that. How it's going to look whenever you pull up the game day, I don't know. Maybe they have, I don't know, some things on the outside going on and maybe not on the inside as far as that. But I honestly feel like, man, maybe, 15,000, 20,000 fans can go in there as far as the social distance wise. And you know how they can do it, bro. They can set it up. You come in at your own risk, bro. We go down to, I don't know if you like certain areas. When I came out to Houston, right, it was totally different how it was in Florida because people are walking around all the time down here without masks and everything kind of normal. So I guess it's probably more of like a state thing where you're at, how people view things on that type of thing. But I think the NFL is going to definitely take measures as far as like trying to keep everyone from being the healthiest they can, as far as like trying to secure themselves so they don't get sued in any type of form. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
It's more of that. That's how they're probably looking at it as far as like the overall thing, as far as like letting everyone in there. But I think it's just, if anything, they'll put like crowd noise or anything, or maybe put just crowd noise on the television, or they'll find a certain type of way to blank it out because they can't just have us out there hitting each other and hearing all the grunt because most of the time the fans don't want to hear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They hear how intense. They want to hear the Mike's 52 and hear Peyton Manning say Omaha, but they don't want to hear you know what I mean? They don't want to hear all that. You know what I mean? So they'll probably have to figure something out in that way. But I think, bro, no matter what, competitors are gonna come up and show up and play. So we'll see.
All right. Last question. Best football memory: high school, college, pro, don't matter.
Best football memory, the one I'll probably never forget, bro, is and it's crazy, bro, because this is the one play I think about in the NFL. And it was my first game ever, bro. And you can look it up. It was crazy.
All right.
We was playing the Atlanta Falcons, bro. This is my rookie year, and this is our first game, bro. We go into overtime. And literally we had a run play. I'm like, man, you know what? We're like 70 yards away, 60 yards away. And we had Rashard Mendenhall at the time. We had a run play set up. Man, bro, I had one of the lead blocks on it. And literally, bro, whenever he scored, like, that's all I can remember, just chasing him to the end zone. And when I got there, I was like, I'm going to die. I can't breathe, bro. Like someone help me out. Like, I'm at this point right now. And, bro, the craziest part, I still to this day talk about this play with my offensive coordinator. But it's shit crazy because that's the one play I can only think about. They're like, man, what plays do you remember? I'm like, bro, that's the only play I can really, really remember that has some significance. You know what I mean?
I like that. Matter of fact, I think I kind of remember a play like that where Mendenhall, where he had a big run in that game.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, I will never ever forget that, bro. That's one of the moments. I don't know. That's one, like, bro, as a football player, bro, you have certain plays that you dream about.
Yes.
You always, like, you know what I mean? And that's that one. I don't know. Maybe for you it's a big hit or an interception or something.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, it's just that, man, seeing him in my first game ever and that happened, I'm just like, man, is this real? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on right now? You know what I'm saying? So that was just pretty cool to happen, though. But overall, bro, that the NFL has been a true blessing to me and my brother, bro. We're just very, very thankful for all the things that came our way.
Man, dude, big ups to you and Mike, man. Both of y'all, I think the top twin duo ever to play the game. Both of y'all
appreciate that, bro.
Athletic centers that this league has never seen before, man. So, dude, big ups to both of y'all. My man, Maurkice Pouncey, Thank you for coming on. Cells
Thank you.
RX, guys, you got to check it out.
Sure.
It's a new supplement company. Go ahead, check them out. I think you will definitely be impressed. Keith, thank you for coming on, man. We got to definitely do this again soon one day.
Hey, anytime you want, my guy. You already know. You cool with me.
Already.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, bro.